Citystyle. We're here at the Heritage House talking to some of the members of the Heritage Society. The Heritage House at Lake Road and Woodbury Drive represents Woodbury's farming history. Hi, Wayne.
Happy to see you.
And longtime resident Wayne Schilling works hard to teach that history. How long has your family lived here in Woodbury?
170 years we've been living here in Woodbury.
Wow, that's a long time.
I'm not that old, but I do not know what the first two generations of the family did, but I know my grandfather was a dairy farmer, and I continued in that operation till I was 60.
Wow, okay. Why is it important for the residents of Woodbury to learn about this important history?
Well, Woodbury was a dairy farming community before development started, and it was not just land, it was important and it was the livelihood of many people here. One of the first co-ops that was formed in the state of Minnesota happened here in Woodbury because of the dairy production that was here.
What is the goal of the Heritage Society?
We try to preserve the history of the people who were living here before the land was used before the houses were built, and preserve that history and try to recreate that at the level that we have capable of doing that with our activities.
Describe how the Heritage Society works to preserve this history.
We have open houses during the summer every other Sunday afternoon from 1 to 4, where we have volunteers who come and show some of the insides of the house here. And in the spring we have the second graders from the two close schools walk here and learn about the history. We have a plow, we have a stationary cow that we milk, we shell corn, we dig up potatoes. Part of the thing of teaching young people that where our food comes from.
Is that free to attend?
It is, and we welcome guests to come and sign our guest book. It does not mean that we send propaganda to you, but when we have newsletters, we try to use that address book to get people involved. Our membership goes on a calendar year, and by just looking up any of the city information, we have a telephone number in there, and we'd be happy to have new people join our group.
Well, thank you, Wayne, and to the Heritage Society for preserving this house and for making it look very festive for the season.
I'm happy you took the time to stop by. Thank you.
Winter is upon us, and Megan Beck has some winter information in our Woodbury Update.
Thanks, Emma. Woodbury has partnered with the Center for Energy and Environment to offer discounts on energy audits from the Home Energy Squad. It's a great way to see how energy efficient your home is. Members of the squad might change your old light bulbs to LED bulbs, add a programmable thermostat, install efficient shower heads, and more. Woodbury residents can save 30% on this service. You can schedule your home energy audit by contacting the Home Energy Squad. Since 2017, the city has been using energy from community solar gardens located outside the city. Through these subscriptions, the city has received a monthly credit on its energy bill. In 2017, this program saved the city more than $60,000. This success is why the city will be increasing the amount of energy it receives from the solar garden next year to 8.5 million kilowatts of electricity. Woodbury has invested in alternative energy before, thanks to the solar array on the public safety building and using geothermal heat for the sports center. If you have discovered that you have several broken holiday lights and cords when you unpack them this year, don't throw them out, recycle them. The Washington County Environmental Center will take your unwanted lights for free. The strands are dismantled by vocational center clients and properly recycled locally. Visit the Washington County website for hours. Everyone plays a part in safety this winter, and you can do your part by following these winter rules. Residents and guests are not allowed to park on city streets between 2 and 6 a.m. and anytime 2 or more inches of snow have accumulated. This allows plow drivers to completely clear the street. Also, residents are required to clear snow and ice from public walkways within 12 hours after a snowstorm. After you've cleared the snow from your sidewalk, don't forget about the nearby fire hydrant. This will help the Public Safety Department do their job in an emergency. After removing the snow, take a picture and email it to me, and you'll be honored on social media as a hydrant hero. Also this winter, make sure you salt your walkways and driveways responsibly. You can reduce the amount of salt and other chlorides from polluting our lakes, rivers, and groundwater by following these tips. First, remove snow from your walkways immediately before it turns to ice and only salt is needed. Second, scatter the salt lightly so it doesn't accumulate in one place. Remember, salt is ineffective when temperatures are below 15 degrees. At that point, switch to sand. Finally, when ice is melted, sweep up the excess salt and save it for next time. Thin ice in areas of open water are found all winter on Battle Creek and Kobe Lakes due to an aeration system operated by the city. These systems provide oxygen to the water, which keeps the lake fish alive. Thin ice signs are posted as a warning to keep off the ice. The aeration systems will operate until the ice thaws out. The Ojibwe Park's outdoor rink will be closed this season due to the ongoing renovation of the park. However, the city has 3 other outdoor ice rinks and warming houses located at Kobe Lake Park, Cargill Park, and Shawnee Park. Rinks and warming houses are usually open from after school until 9 p.m., weather permitting. You can see the full schedule online. In addition, the outdoor refrigerated ice rink at Healthy Sports Center is now open for the season. The rink offers open skating Sunday through Thursday from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Fridays and Saturdays until 10 p.m. Rental skates are available for $6. The Polar Plunge is returning to Carver Lake Park on February 9th. Hundreds are expected to plunge through a hole in the ice to support Special Olympics Minnesota. Teams are now forming and raising money for the event. Go to plungemn.org to sign up. The Cold Catfish Cup Winter Bike Race is back. Mountain bikers can challenge themselves on the Carver Lake Park Bike Trail January 20th. This year, riders can ride in the 18-mile elite race or the 12-mile sport race. There will also be a marathon race in which riders see how many laps they can complete in a 4-hour period. It costs $25 for those 18 and older and $15 for those under 17. You can register on the Cold Catfish Cup website. And finally, the Woodbury Heritage Society is inviting the public to its annual business meeting at Central Park. There will be a presentation on the history of the Miller Barn and how it was built. It will be followed by an ice cream social. You can join them on January 13th at 2 p.m. That's all for your Woodbury City update. Now back to Emma at the Heritage House.
This house has been on the corner for more than 100 years, and at one point it was owned by the Stutzman family. Joining us now is one of the members of that family, Patty Paulus. Hi, Patty.
Hi, Emma.
Can you tell me what your relation to the Heritage House is?
Well, the Heritage House was on the farm, my grandparents' farm, which is now Marsh Creek. And it was a house that housed farmhands, like in the 1940s. And they would sleep upstairs, and it was a place for them to live.
When did your family buy the property, and how long has it been here?
Well, my great-grandparents bought the farm in 1903, and my grandparents ended up buying it from my great-grandparents. And my father was born in the house, not this particular house, but the farmhouse. And this was a place that my sister and I would play in when we would visit my grandparents every other Sunday. So it has a lot of memories for me. And when the property was sold in 1992 to a developer, then this particular house was moved to this particular spot.
When you were coming to visit as a child, what was this area like?
Well, there were farms everywhere, and all of my relatives had farms here. And so oftentimes we would visit the Gaussman farm, the Schilling farm, and it was great. We would play in the hay lofts, and my grandmother would let us go out to the chicken coop and gather eggs. And it was really fun to be out here, and my sister and I really enjoyed being out here.
So as you were visiting, do you remember how things started to change?
Well, I remember as we drove out here, there were early developments were like Royal Oaks, and that was maybe in the 1960s. Later on, I remember Lifetime Fitness was out in the middle of nowhere, and you would drive down Radio Drive, and that was one of the first things that was developed there.
What became of the original farmhouse?
Well, when the land was developed in 1992, all of the buildings had to be destroyed or burned, and so the city of Woodbury, as a fire fighting exercise, burned down the house. And my parents were able to choose their favorite spot, and they built a house right next to the gazebo. And so they were one of the first homes to be built there.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with me, Patty.
Oh, it was very nice to talk with you, Emma, and I'm so glad that the Heritage House is being highlighted in this way, and it's a great wonderful place for people to visit and find out what Woodbury was really like in the olden days.
Yeah, it sounds wonderful.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Woodbury Citystyle after this.
Welcome to the Rec Zone. I'm Recreation Specialist Elizabeth Owens.
And I'm John Hagan. End your year at the Healthy Sports Center Complex. Woodbury Parks and Recreation will be hosting its annual New Year's Eve family celebration that takes place on December 31st. This event will start at 6 and it will go to 9 p.m. and be sure to pre-register because the event sells out quick.
This winter, enjoy some fun at one of our outside skating rinks. Our skating rinks with warming houses take place at Colby Lake Park, Cargill Park, and Shawnee Park. You can also skate outside at Healthy Sports Center. Most of our rinks open right after school and close at 9 p.m.
Bingo players and ice cream lovers can join us again for Sunday Bingo at Central Park. The cost is $5 per person and it starts on January 13th.
Grab your bike and winter gear and join us for this year's annual Cold Catfish Cup. This winter bike ride takes place at Carver Lake Park on January 20th. The cost is $25 per participant and pre-registration is required.
You can register for these programs and more by logging on to woodburyrecreation.com or by calling 651-714-3583. That's all for the Rec Zone. I'm John Hagan.
And I'm Elizabeth Owens.
I've been working for the city of Woodbury for 8 years. Typical snowfalls, we'll start at 4 a.m. so that we can have all the priority roads plowed by morning rush hour. We all have our own routes. There's 18 routes divided into the city, and we all stay in the same route. Once we're done plowing our routes, if there's more weather in the forecast, we'll take them back to the shop, reload them with salt and calcium chloride, and refuel them so they're all ready to go for the next snow event. I enjoy the feeling of accomplishment, seeing behind you or coming back the other direction on the road that you just plowed and being able to say, hey, I cleared that road and everybody's going to get to work today. I'm Brad Metcalf, City of Woodbury snowplow operator, and my style is Woodbury Citystyle.
The Heritage House is all decorated for the holidays thanks to one family who has a special connection to the place.
When you picture modern Christmas decorations, you think of big colorful lights brightening up the night sky.
Probably close to 1,000 lights or more just on the house alone. And that doesn't count all the yard decor, homemade decor that I've built along the way.
However, holiday spirit wasn't always this way. There is a family who comes out to Woodbury each year to decorate a home like they did back in the 1800s.
It's always a Saturday after Thanksgiving, and sometimes we like to have a little bit more snow, but the rain will do for now.
The Raths family, who are the original owner of the Woodbury Heritage House, likes to keep the house looking classical by decorating with only ribbons and greens.
It's just the simple idea of it, and the descendants that started the decorating many, many years ago, I believe this is just what they had come up with for the decorating, and I enjoy just getting together. Oh, sweetheart, look at you. The newest generation.
Because of the number of family members who came out, it only took them 15 minutes to complete the decorating.
It's a quick process, and it goes even quicker depending on the weather. No, there's no electricity, no lights, no nothing, huh? How'd you like to live in here 100 years ago, huh? Your ancestors did. The Woodbury Heritage Society do a lot of the maintenance and the upkeep on it. And the family members will come out and they do the hosting in the summertime, and then we do the decorating in the fall. So we try to maintain it the best we can. So yeah, it's a neat little piece of history.
A special thank you to the many generations of the Raths family who bring a little joy to the city. The ice at the Sports Center is in excellent shape thanks to dedicated staff who know the art of making great ice.
Hi, My name is John Kokaisel, and this is Woodbury Works.
I've been working for the city of Woodbury for 23 years now. I also drive a Zamboni. When I found out that the city was building an ice arena, I thought that's what I would like to do, is have a passion. The conditioner at the back side of the Zamboni is where it all happens. Water comes down, and that's where we actually make the thin layer of ice. There is about 210 gallons of hot water. We have 80 gallons of cold water. And then we have a board brush. That is a brush that takes all the stuff away from the side of the boards. When we shave the ice, it turns into snow. And what we do then is we collect it through the augers, comes up through the augers and goes into what we call the dump tank. When we get off the ice, what we do is we lift the conditioner. Now that leaves a little bit of snow or ice right there at the base. We need to shovel it and then hold it with a squeegee, and we make it so that it's just part of the ice. Then when we pull into the Zamboni room, there's a big pit back there, and we dump all of the snow into that pit. It helps us melt the ice so we can put more and more in there if we need it. Resurfacing the ice, we have 10 minutes between one group and the other group, so it takes probably about 8 minutes because that is where you get the best quality. We want to make sure that it is top-notch for the next group coming out.
Thanks, John, for your dedication and hard work. You can find a full schedule of skating events on the Sports Center's website at healthysportscenter.com. Mayor Mary Giuliani Stevens has served as mayor for 8 years. She reflects on her years of service in her mayor's memo.
In 2006, with encouragement from former Mayor Bill Hargis, I put my name on the general election ballot for a seat on the City Council. I'm grateful the community gave me the opportunity to serve on council and then as mayor 4 years later. It has been an honor to serve you. I am now completing my second and final term as mayor, and together we have accomplished a lot. We were able to turn the old State Farm site into a vibrant and active mixed-use development. We made a dramatic improvement to our sports center, replacing the old bubble with a permanent field house and building a first-of-its-kind inclusive playground with a splash pad. We successfully made Woodbury the healthcare destination in the east suburbs. We expanded the public safety building, created new parks, welcomed new businesses, created more job opportunities in the city, and much more. None of this could have happened without the hard work of city staff, members of the City Council and advisory commissions, and the support from the community. Thank you to all of you for your professionalism and support. Although Julie O's, Christopher Burns, and I are leaving the council, we have created a tremendous opportunity for new leadership. I am confident that Mayor-elect Ann Burt, Council-elect Jennifer Santini and Steve Morris, and the rest of the council will continue to move Woodbury forward and continue to make it a great place to live, work, and play, and be a welcoming community for all. I would like to extend my sincerest thanks to the citizens of Woodbury for trusting me to serve 12 years on your city council. It has been great, and I am looking forward to being involved in the community as a resident of our great city. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary, for your dedication to the city. Ann Burt will be officially sworn in as the next mayor at the first council meeting in January. Thank you for watching this edition of Woodbury Citystyle. We'll see you next time.